Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here is another episode of Market Update. Today we are going to look at where the buyers market are or is in Maricopa County in the Phoenix market area, as well as we're going to look at some data about what is the percentage, what is the share of active listing on the market, what is the type of sellers on the market right now, so that we know what's going on and have some suggestion about the actions that you should do in the future. All right. So let's just dive right into the Monday market update. All right. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Long Pli, with Venture REI, and today I am going to another episode of Market Update. The first chart that I'm gonna show you, let me share with you my screen, is oh, by the way, before we go into the first chart, I just want to emphasize that overall, the situation of the market is the same, right? Listing is still increasing every week. On average, we have about 1,000 new listings coming onto the market, right? And the demand, of course, as you know, because of the high interest rate, is still very low at this time. It's still the demand is very low at this time. I saw that some of the buyers have 6.35, 6.5, 6% interest rate, which is regular right now, right? So because of that, the market is very cooling down at a very fast rate. Okay, and now in this time, as of the time of this report, we can see that some cities already in the buyer's market. When I say the buyer's market, meaning that the buyer has great chance to negotiate with the seller, as well as the price in those cities gonna goes down. Okay, so what cities? What do you think? Like, what cities that we are going to talk about? Which city is a buyer's market right now? Which city or cities are a buyer market right now? All right. If you can put a comment so that we can have a little game here to guess like which cities is going to the buyer's market, because obviously we have been in the seller markets for like forever for the last 2 years, right? And then the sellers keep pushing the price going higher and higher, and there's no negotiation power for the buyers, right? If you are under contract at that time for the last 2 years, you basically feeling that you are blessed. You are very lucky to get a house at $20,000 or $30,000 more than asking, right? But it's not the same situation for this right now. We are in some cities of Maricopa County already in the buyer's market. So the question: which city do you think in the buyer's market right now? All right. So put in a comment before I show this chart, and then you're gonna know right away the answer. All right. So come back to the data as you expected. Let me show with you this chart right here. This is again the chart, the Cromford Market Index. This is created by Cromford Associates. Very, very reliable real estate data. This one also their index, their own index as well. Basically, this is gonna show you in the third column right here the Cromford Market Index as of now. And by now, I mean by July 14 is the time that I get this chart for you. About 100, from 90 to 100, right? If the index is about 90 to 100, it is a balanced market, right? Because because the buyers, the demand and the supply are equal, right? It's a balanced market. It's not no less, no more. If it is higher than 100 points, it's still a seller market. It is a seller market, and the seller has more negotiation power. And in the buyer's market, is less than 90. It has the buyer has more negotiation power, right? If it is less than 90, the buyer has less negotiation power. Okay, so that is the buyer's market. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me show you the chart again. So as you see here, out of all 17 cities of Maricopa County, Buckeye is now officially less than 90 points, which means Buckeyes has go to the buyer's market. Maricopa and Green Creek is belonging to the group that we call balanced market, right? From 90 to 100, around that, it's going to be a balanced market, right? So the only CD that we can see the price gonna predicted to be dropped in the near future is going to be Buckeye. Maricopa and Green Creek, we see that with this decline, we can see that by the time that of this report next week, potentially we can see a buyer's market in those CD as well. And for the rest of the 14 CDs listed on the chart right here, excuse me, the chart right here, everything has been dropped significantly, right? If you have been following my videos, it has been showing like 600, 500 Cromford market index for those CDs easily. But now we see that the index is about 122 for Tempe, 123 for Gilbert, 125 for Chandler, and 130 for Surprise. Okay. The other thing that you have to beware is that right now you see right here, everything is about 30 or 40% change. Okay, all the cities that we have on the chart has a significantly negative change compared to last month. Beside the two cities, one and two, the two cities is Fountain Hills and Paradise Valley. Interesting enough, the reason why it has a small change is mainly because of the drop in the demand. Right, the supply number in these cities right here, the listing coming onto the market doesn't change much. It's mainly because the interest rate going higher, and then therefore there's a small drop in the CMI, the Cromford market index here. The rest of the cities have a lot of listing coming onto the market. As I told you, on average, we have about 1,000 listing coming onto the market right now. And therefore, there's a big drops everywhere. Okay. So, and then we can see another news coming up is that the Federal Reserve going to increase another 1% of the interest rate in July meeting. So, if that happens, we can see that the demand is going to be further going down. All right. So that is the high level of this table right here. Basically, you can see that everywhere in the city, in every cities is heading to the buyer market very quickly. We already have Buckeye. So if you already answer Buckeye in the comments, you get the right answer. We already have Buckeye in the buyer's market. Maricopa and Green Creek is very close, okay, very close to the buyer's market. So I expect that the next meeting, the next Monday market update, you can see 3 CDs at least in the buyer's market. Okay. The next chart's gonna help you answer the question. So where are those listing, right? What are those? What type of sellers are on the market right now? Okay, meaning that are they the homeowner occupied, right? Are they investors? If they are investor, what type of investor they are? Okay, so the next chart is gonna help answer what type of sellers on the market right now. So I know this chart show a lot of data, but if you look at only the first two columns right here, you're gonna see you're gonna find out the answer right away. For that question, what type of sellers on the market right now? You see that owner occupied only 46%. Owner occupied is 46%. Rental is about 15%. Second home is about 15%. Second home is 27%. These are the people that buy basically for short-term rental. If you're looking at the right column right here, you're gonna see the breakdown. These are iBuyers, open door, offer pad, about 43% of this number right here. LLCs, right? If people purchase as an LLC, they're probably an investor, right? It could be a fix and flip. It could be a short-term rental. It could be a wholesale, right? And all other owners, right? So all other types of owner is included in this 27% here. So a second home is about 27, rental is about 15%, and new construction is about 13%. So if we add those three together, if we add those three together, we have about 55% of active listing are vacant, right? Because they are investor. These right here is investor, right? New construction is technically investor, right? So if you're looking at the active listing on the market right now, we can see that the majority of the active listing is actually vacant, and they belong to the investor. All right. Now this is also confirmed because most of those purchase right here is from the first half of 2022, and the other is about the second half of 2021. Right, so it's very recently, right? So those people are buying very recently, and they can either doing a fix and flip, they can either buy it as a rental, and now they get tired of renting it out, right? They are new construction, right? A lot of buyers cannot qualify for the loan anymore, and they back out of the contract because basically new construction, right? You don't lock your interest rate until the house is almost complete. So right now, for that reason, the interest rate going higher. So for those of you who qualify 6-7 months ago is no longer qualify at this time. So that's why you see a lot of active listing for new construction onto the market, right? In fact, this is the best time for you to buy new construction because they give you a lot of incentive right now. Some of the builders, as I told you, also give you 3% of the closing cost and 3% to buy down interest rate. So that's total of 6% closing cost. So on average, for average new build, new home, new construction, about $500,000. That's equivalent to $30,000 in closing cost and buy down interest rate for you. So very, very nice incentive provided by the builders right now. So as you see here, 1, 2, and 3 are all investments. So as you see right now, that means that not a lot of people, not a lot of home occupied, although the percentage is about 46, right? But it's still less than the total investment altogether. So that could be the reason, because for those homeowners who lock into a low interest rate, right, to 2 years ago when the interest rate is so low, they would rather just stay in the home. They would rather just stay in the home instead of sell it and then go rent, which is surprisingly going higher right now as well. So why do they have to give up the low interest rate and then go rent, pay higher than what they have to pay right now, right? So those are that is the reason why we do not have a lot of homeowner occupiers in the active listing right now. Now, if we're looking at the other way, right, because there's a lot of listing for investor on the market right now, right, the investor actually has to competing each other. So if you come to a house that has an open door and offer pad or an LLC, most likely they are more willing to negotiate a reasonable offer with you, right? They're kind of willing to work with you to come to a deal, rather than couple months ago you will not be able to do so, because of course the investor, they want higher money, higher profit as well. But at this time, because of the slow market and because they have so many inventory on the market right now, they want to get rid of it as soon as possible. If they don't sell it, it become a troublesome for them, right? So if you are willing to, if you come up with some, now it come into the hands of open door, offer pad, or any kind of investors, if you like them, right, then then it's good because you can potentially have more power, negotiation power with you at this time. Okay, the last chart that I want to show you is just to show you a relative. This is about the pricing. I know last time when I talked about supply and the demand, as you see here, the green line is the demand and the red line is the supply right here. And then in the kind of dough line, how do you say this? A line, not very clear line right here, show the average sale price per square feet, right? Last time in the last video, I talked about if there's a cross in the demand and the supply, right? We could potentially have a drop in the price, Now, that's not always true, right? That's not always potentially. We can see if there's a drop, a cross here, we can see there's a slowdown in the market, right? There's a slowdown in the markets. For example, right here, you see here, there's one time that is cross, and the market is actually like going higher, and then it's become more flat at that time. Okay. Or similarly, there's more crossing right here, and the market become more stable, more flat, right? Another time here is cross, and the price go down, right? It needs to go down. Okay, but it has to be in the period of a long-lasting, more supply than demand. Okay, more supply than demand. But if it is only a short period of time, then we're not gonna have the situation where the price drop down like this. Okay, so similarly, we can see that it has a potential dropping in demand further and increase supply. But if the trend doesn't continue for a long time, this price doesn't go down. It's gonna most likely it's gonna be flattened out. Okay, it's gonna be flattened out instead of going down. So to be able to see a drop in price, then this the period of crossing, the period of high supply and low demand has to be lasting for a couple months, not just for a couple years, you know, a very long time. Like in this situation, it's last from 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009 before it like going down in price like that. Okay. So I know for some of you waiting for the period to the price to drop, right? We more, yes. Hopefully we can go there for those of you who are waiting, right? Because no one can know for sure what the market is at that time, right? No one gonna know for sure. The only thing that we know is that at this time, at this moment in time, we do not have the cross yet. We do not have a cross between the supply and the demand yet. So the price, as you see, a lot of price reduction is mainly simply because they listing too high over the market price. Now they have to go down. So if they're listed at a very reasonable market price, they sell, okay? Or even less than the market price, they're gonna sell. So so to be able to when you see this, you can see right away that if the supply and the demand doesn't, if the supply only for a short period of time, right? If the interest rate go back to lower, then the demand gonna go higher. And if the rental investor decide to not selling their property anymore, right? Instead, they're gonna do the rental from the property, putting a long-term rental contract, then we're not gonna have the same situation at this time anymore, right? So investor, if you are not, so here's my suggestion. Investors, if you don't want to see a drop in price further, think of another way to rent out the property, right? Think of a way to keep the property, to make the profit as you keep it, right? Instead of selling it right away in a rush right now, because if you are not in a rush, right? If you sell right now, it's basically a loss for you, right? So investor, that's my suggestion for you. That's my 2 cents for you. You can, you don't have to listen. I know that some of the investor is maybe more experienced than me, but that's just my opinion, okay? For buyers, this is the best time for you to buy, right? This is the best time. This is the market that you have been waiting for the last 2 years, right? This is the time that you can offer a very reasonable market price instead of putting $20,000, $30,000 more than the market value, and you basically don't have any negotiation power at all, right? So this is the time, right? I know that the interest rate is high. I know that the price could potentially drop because a lot of news on the market right now are ongoing right now, right? But we just don't see that yet. We have some signal, but we don't see anything. Again, market real estate gonna be reacting very slow compared to other market. It's not as volatility as stock or cryptocurrency. So it's slow, right? So when you see the signal, of course, if you come back every Monday, I can give you an update market right now. If you see a signal, then be more careful of your decision. But right now, we don't have a signal for the price to drop significant yet. For the interest rate, you can always refinance, or better, what if someone asks you, what if the interest rate keeps going higher, and so what is in that situation? Well, then good luck, congratulations, you get locked into a low interest rate, right? Because interest rate is a fixed rate, right? For the seller, be reasonable, be more willing to negotiate, be more willing to prepare your house, right? I have a video that's showing a preparation for the house to sell your house on the market right now. I'm gonna put that on the description of the link. If you're interested, take a look at that video. Okay. I think that's all I have for today. Again, if you do have any question about the market right now, feel free to give me a call. My number is below, 602-515-2442. Thank you. Bye-bye.